6 months ago that I would be trading crypto. I wouldn't have believed you. I actually didn't even know what cryptocurrency was or blockchain or any of those things. And now I'm a stay-at-home mum and I invest in crypto and I'm a crypto trader and I love it.
Awesome. And so you came on my course in Intuitive Trader. So for 3 months, we went through the fundamentals. It was pretty challenging, right? Because we were working with a lot of different exchanges and things like that, but we were with the same like-minded women. So what, I guess what's really important is like, why crypto? And what's it done for you? And why are you enjoying it?
Very good questions. So I guess firstly, I needed something. I wanted to contribute. I wanted to put myself out there again. But I live in Germany. I know you're in Australia, but I live in Germany and my language skills are not great. And I'd been out of the working game for a long time. And around the crash, my husband was talking a lot about the stock market. And we started having a look. And, you know, we talked about a little money to invest and things like this, but I wasn't into it. My heart wasn't into it. I didn't understand it. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, something with crypto, just light bulb went off and I joined your course. And now my purpose has changed. Like crypto absolutely lights me up. And it's, of course, it's the money. It's great. It's amazing having a residual income coming in. But I think it's also the learning that's
what I found. It's once I show women how simple it is and just kind of decode and kind of take away some of the heaviness and show them, I think, was it the clean and green that appealed to you at first? Because I'm not on social media now, but I did one post and it was like Bitcoin's going through an overhaul and clean and green is really where it's at. And that attracted a lot of women. That pretty much filled the program.
Absolutely. I remember the first time you dropping a bomb and saying like, oh, did we? Okay. So I remember the first time you telling me about, you know, we were learning about the different blockchains, the different technologies, and you mentioned how just one of the coins, and we were investing in ones like were 1 cent or less than 1 cent or 10 cents. And you were explaining how the technology in this blockchain of sending money from one end to another was 57,000 times more efficient and cleaner and greener than Bitcoin. And just
right, I remember
there were so many other elements. And I was like, whoa, tell me more.
Yeah, I remember that. So many people, so people don't read the rest of the content because it's you know, I think healing women and intuitive women we're really attracted to that because all of us want to make a difference. And we've all tried network marketing and other businesses and other ways to make an income, but that started to feel heavy. And it's like, okay, if I could be involved in something that does make money, but if I could learn something that's clean and green and 57,000 times more efficient, then I'm making a difference by the decisions I make. And that was really my driver. You know, when I woke up one morning, I thought, you know, after learning this a little bit of crypto, I'd only learned a little bit, one exchange to the other. And I thought, I need to share this with women. How am I going to get this out? Because I'd just gone off social media. And so I just kind of reached out to all of you and I said, who do you know? And you all brought in, you know, like-minded women. And that was powerful. And I was using my pendulum to trade. And a lot of the women were using muscle testing and things like that. So I was just like, this is awesome, because it's like, well, we're using our intuition and, you know, all these people are reporting the graphs and things like that, but we're moving into a time where the graphs are irrelevant because one, we know that everything has been manipulated. Two, if the stock market crashes, it typically impacts cryptocurrency at the moment. And we know why now. And so I kind of dived into world events and started waking up to what was really going on with the digital space. And then I moved into cryptocurrency and learning the fundamentals. And I realized that if you can operate cryptocurrency that way by knowing what's going on in the world, and that's really quite enlightening, isn't it? Like that's quite fun to know what's going on, because then you kind of feel informed and you kind of feel like, oh, I have a little bit more hope Because if you don't know what's going on right now, I would imagine that after 2 years in lockdown, for those people who thought it was just going to, if you just put your head in the sand, it's just going to wash away, and digital currency is just going to wash away and everything's going to come back roses. Well, it didn't happen. And it's still not going to happen. It's getting worse.
Absolutely.
Right? So we know that things are moving to digital. And so if we put our head in the sand, continue to put our head in the sand and not learn, the fundamentals and even how to set up your own exchange and just buy direct, you're going to get caught in some of these network marketing, affiliate marketing platforms, which just recently, a lot of them have crashed. People have lost their money. So I guess the fundamentals with crypto that we want to talk about today are that you must, for me personally, I must be able to get my money out so I can spend it. So I don't, if you are looking at platforms, like how quickly can you get your money out? Like I don't even lock for 30 days. Like I don't even do term deposits because I want access to my funds straight away. So what's really important to you? And I found that this was really important to me, and all the women around me, this was important to them. And I know it's important to you, Sarah, too, because, being able to spend your money is just like, it's like, okay, so not only am I trading, but I'm being rewarded and I'm being nourished for my portfolio. So, not every crypto is created equal. And so for those who know about Bitcoin, I'm not going to go into the detail, but what Bitcoin has been funding, firstly, it's old technology. It's been funding illegal crime. If you want to have a 10% snippet of that crime, then you can watch a movie called The Silk Road, which gives you a slight indication of what's really going on, knowing that it's 90% worse than that. So if anyone really knows what's going on with Bitcoin, your body will either not feel good about it, you never got into it, all your friends were in, but you never did. And that's all for a reason, because it wasn't serving the good of humanity. So now cryptocurrencies have utility, right? So you can invest in different projects that kind of light you up, which is what you've talked about, Sarah. So you've also created your own cryptocurrency, because most people don't want just crypto to be their only income. Yeah. But if you can learn the fundamentals, you're educating, so it kind of lights up that brain. That's probably, that we switched off in the last couple of years because things are getting worse.
I lost you for a second. Sorry. Yeah.
Am I back?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like people, had kind of numbed out. We switched off the news. We switched off everything. And so we're just thinking, okay, well, when I need to know about digital, that will happen. But it's like we could be ahead of the game.
Yes.
Yeah. And so then you can then start to think about, during this time of lockdown, what you really want to be doing. Everyone's reevaluating their jobs, what they want to be doing. And it just keeps going on.
How they want to spend their time. Exactly. And I guess this was the stepping stone for me, because when you first mentioned it to me, I was like, oh, no. Because I had no idea, firstly, what cryptocurrency was, what an exchange program platform was, what is a blockchain, how to buy it. I had no idea. And actually, it's all very simple. And I had to dive a little bit, because you were in Australia and I was in Europe, and the exchanges are different. So, who can I trust? How do I buy it? All of these things.
But so I just give you the fundamentals, and then you go and do your research.
That's right. And the great thing is that I found from your teaching, because it was a 3-month immersion course, at the start, you'd be telling me these little codes. And I was like, what does that mean? And then the great thing is, on the exchange, you click on it, you read more, you can go into their website, you can dive deeper, and you can find that these coins, these blockchains, they're changing. This is the future. Like, give an example on one, please, Lee, of a clean and green and an incredible currency that we're invested in.
Well, we've got to go with XRP. Yes. I mean, let's do two. So we can go with XRP and we can go with XLM, because they're two different networks. So XRP being the front runner, solving $1 trillion problem, which is the, B2B, the banking real-time transactions. And for me personally, former airline project manager, worked in Abu Dhabi in the Middle East, and a lot of the community were Filipino, and they used to send their money home to their families. And it used to cost them $30 with Western Union. And you remember the travel days and the currency conversions and them sending money home. And well, you'd know, Sarah, like being away from your home base. And it's a real problem. And then there's XLM, which I call, part of the X family. And there's many more, but it's about, okay, so what problem are they solving? Because that means they have real utility. Now, Bitcoin didn't solve a problem, it just enabled a problem, a massive problem. And I thoroughly recommend people to go and dive deeper on what that's doing. Now, I get that there's a lot of people making money through Bitcoin and things like that, and that's your choice, right? Or their partners are in Bitcoin or whatever. My recommendation is to start doing your research and start moving profits out of those cryptocurrencies. Because 10 years ago, say Bitcoin was founded, and it was like the first kind of digital currency that we knew about. And a lot of us kind of felt like we needed to get in there. We needed to get digital, but I was too scared. And then by the time it was like 9K, my friends were investing, but I didn't have 9K. So when I did my first investment, it was during lockdown, and I got this download that I need to do something, because life was getting, I was getting deeper and deeper and deeper into, I guess, financial hardship. I was going round and round in circles. So I had just let go of my Audi. A year before that, I had defaulted on my mortgage. And so I was like, I need to do something. So I started researching. And when I started researching, I realized that it's really simple. And you did too. And, it's just repetition. It's just repetition. So they're the two cryptocurrencies. XLM is the Stellar network, which is what we call the People's Network. And there's thousands and thousands of projects that are being launched on the Stellar network that we're investing in daily. And all I'm doing is just keeping you alert. These are the projects that are coming. These are the problems that they're solving. We've got projects like shielding on the internet, to protect our children. So, that's one great project. We've got the AFRAM project, which was originally on the Ethereum network, and is now building on the Stellar network. Now that's projects for Africa. Africa has a real problem with underbanked. So many people don't even have a bank account, solving real world problems. So by the decisions that you make, where you put your $10, your £10, your €10 makes a difference, because
Absolutely.
energetically your body is making, a good decision. But if you're investing in something like Bitcoin, you're a little bit uncertain, because it's like huge money. It's like 60,000 now for one Bitcoin.
A tiny bit.
And you can't skim on a tiny bit, because then if you sell a little bit, it's like having physical gold and silver as well. My recommendation would be that it's always on the blockchain, because blockchain is the way we store information. So I want to know where my gold and silver comes from. I want to make sure that I'm making a good decision. So if I have physical gold and silver, well, silver has amazing healing properties, but if I had it in the home and then I want to travel when we can, then that doesn't really serve my lifestyle needs. So that's what's so great about cryptocurrency, is you can invest in these projects that are backed legitimately by, these precious metals, but also solving problems, and they have to prove the problem, okay, or else they don't get on the blockchain.
Exactly. And you did mention before, Lee, at the start, that I created my own cryptocurrency. And I think I'll just mention now that my passion is nutrition, and I've been studying and I'm earning a diploma with nutrition, but it goes beyond that. Everyone I speak to, it's what lights me up. And of course, the cryptocurrency is wonderful, because you can earn money and you can invest and you can have your portfolio grow, but what's it growing for? So my cryptocurrency is called Squeezy, and it's going to the objective is nutrition globally. But it's exciting. It's exciting for moms. It's exciting for kids. And I can just imagine the projects that this coin and this currency is going to support going forward. And this is one small one. Like I've just started out, but some of the ones we're investing in that we invested in that cost like 0.001 or 0.00001, and you can buy thousands, if not millions of them, you know that maybe not today or tomorrow, that it's going to make a difference. Like the technology that's going into it, all the infrastructure that's going into it, it's incredible. And you can see that.
Yeah, well, women, that have got coaching businesses or healing businesses or anyone working from home, the goal would be really to set up your project on the blockchain and your business on the blockchain. And so that's what you've done as a starting point. And so it's to generate some investment, but it's also to generate the return so that you can then fulfill some missions around teaching nutrition or wherever you may want to go with teaching nutrition to mums and whatever. It's kind of like a facilitator of you researching. And so what's coming is what's known as, and I'll use a little bit jargon, it's protocol 18. But what that means is that liquidity, so money, is being moved into these projects, right? And we won't go into too much detail around why or where the money came from, but pretty much anyone who was a criminal, the money has to go somewhere, right? It has to get seized and it has to go somewhere because we're moving into a new system. Now, if you don't know we're moving into a new system, your body probably has felt it, but it's time to pay attention. And that's called the quantum financial system. And it's been running in parallel and beta tested in the USA for a very long time. And it's rolled out around the world. It's running now. So whether you think it's coming or not, it's here. And so that's, the narrative that's playing out in the news is that the central bank digital currencies will be our currency. Now, people are not happy about that is because then they can monitor where you spend, right? So they can monitor if you, by holding the bank controlling the system, it becomes centralized and monopolized again. Whereas cryptocurrency is decentralized. Okay, and so a lot of those principles were completely ignored, and crypto was run by an elite group, whereas now it's the people's money. And so all the liquidity is coming in. So if you have a cryptocurrency on the blockchain, like Sarah does, like Squeezy, which is a bit of fun play, on nutrition. So something fun that people can invest in. And then you can return that out for XLM, is the cryptocurrency that I talked about. Now, when the money comes in, and Sarah's got 30 billion coins, for example, then she can stake that and she can provide investment XLM currency back to all of you, whoever invests. And so that's huge, right? This is the new monetary system. So there's so much money coming. It's almost like people are like, is it really coming? It's like, well, it's here because I've been funding myself for the last 12 months on cryptocurrency. Now you have a Wirex card, I have a Wirex card, and we spend it. So for those people who are going into platforms and then sort of not really knowing, you're not getting educated because you're so busy kind of recruiting other people into the platform because you want to make a difference. My recommendation is to learn the fundamentals and trade direct and learn how to spend it. So that would be the first things. First thing is to set up your exchange, and depending on where you are in the world will depend on which exchange. So you can even Google that, or you can look that up, or ask Sarah, and you can say, okay, well, I'm based here. What are the top exchanges? Because I can tell you now that about 5 or 6 of those, if you say them aloud, I'll be like, okay, corrupt, dangerous, protect your assets, right? So we're very, very particular. I keep my eye on the news. So does Sarah, and we make sure that we know what's going on in the digital space so that we know we can protect you. So for anyone who wants to learn the fundamentals of getting started, it's so simple. I started on $11. What was your first trade, Sarah?
50. Well, I put 50 in. I deposited 50. My first
$50
trade was probably similar to yours. It was probably around 20 that I invested. Yeah,
because I was scared. I was like, oh, so I put it in. I bought some XRP. Depending on your budget will depend on what you buy. which green coin you buy. So if you've got a bigger budget, you want to diversify because you want to, you know, have that comfortability. If you're first trading, you want to just start small. Some women I work with, you know, $100, $500. Some women have big money, but, you know, when you're working with bigger money, we're not the financial advisors here. We're just going to show you the fundamentals of getting started.